Hello, everybody. Welcome back to a new week. It is Money Monday with myself. Of course, we have Terry Hollywood Hay. Terry Hollywood Hay. How was your, Breeders' Cup weekend, right? How was your Friday and Saturday?
Well, Friday I did okay. Saturday I had a lot of people over at the house. We had a Breeders' Cup party, and it was really a lot of fun. Except for I had one disappointment. None of them were really horse players, and so I wanted to help them out. So I did a pick four, and I went all in the first leg. Then I went Cody's Wish, and I did three horses in the next leg, and then I wanted to do three horses in the race with Jackie's Warrior, but then it would have been $99, and none of those guys want to spend that kind of money.
Would have been 99 a person or 99 total?
99 for each person to have the pick four. Now, if I just did it all of us together on it, I should have done that, but I didn't. Anyway, so I took out two because I thought, well, Jackie's Warrior will probably win. And that was going to, the first leg was a big long shot one, almost paid $80. So that pick four was going to pay around $1,700 and some odd dollars. So I was very excited, and everybody else was very excited. And of course, you know what happened with Jackie's Warrior.
Yep, I know what happened there.
And one of the horses that I had wanted to put in there originally, and I should have done it for myself, and I didn't, won that race, and that was an $8,500 pick four. So.
Never fun. I hate the big ones that got away. We talked about the big ones that got away during the show on Saturday. It was a long effort there, my man. A marathon, right?
It was.
They're hard to train for. We don't get to go out and do some road work. You just turn on the you hit go live. And I want to thank everybody who stopped in for a little bit or for a long time. We appreciate everybody coming and supporting us. So we thank you for that. And if you want to support us, one of the easiest ways you can support us is while you're here, hit the thumbs up on Facebook. Hit the thumbs up on YouTube. That's an easy way to support us. Subscribe is another easy way to support us. Tell your friends about us. And then another thing you could do real quick before we go on to Parx today, head on over to horseracingtoday.net. Hit the HRT gear. Holidays are coming. You want to look fantastic. You don't want to wear what anybody else is wearing at the Christmas parties. So hit yourself up with some Horse Racing Today stuff. Look. Our Horse Racing Today bag was so popular, it's temporarily out of stock. So make sure you get your stuff before it's out of stock.
All
right, Terry, are you ready to rock and roll in Philadelphia?
Yes, I am.
Home of the Liberty Bell, the Constitution. So one thing, make sure you do your civic duty tomorrow, no matter your politics, and go vote. All right, Terry, here we go. Let's get started with Parx race number 1. Buenos tardes. It depends on where you are. Probably we'll just go with Buenos. Have a good day too. Hopefully we have a good day with picks. I don't remember the morning part. So anyway, Parx race number 1 is a 6 furlong race. It's a claiming race for $12,500 so far at 6 furlongs at the Philadelphia, or it's actually Bensalem, Pennsylvania, the Bensalem, Pennsylvania track outside of Philadelphia. It has favored early speed, but particularly horses that run from posts 2 and out, Terry, kind of where you want to look. There's a little bit of a rail penalty. Not a deal killer if you're betting the 1, but keep that in mind. Again, real quick, our way to the winner's circle worksheet. We see here the E-horses. These are horses we feel have to be on the lead to win. EPs can play the role of pilot or co-pilot. Ps are typically co-pilots that are within 2 lengths of the leader. And the lone pressure horse in here, the 4, taking the day off. Pressure closers can pressure, so they can be within 2 lengths, but they can also go to the back of the pack if they like. And then, of course, you got your traditional closers, those that are more than 2 lengths off the leader at the quarter-mile marker. And in here, we see a couple horses with some special designations. The 6 horse getting a plus mark at the 4 furlongs, meaning it has an early pace advantage of at least about maybe a length over everybody else after the first half mile. The 3 horse is a left arrow horse, one that's typically a closer, but if he runs his typical race right out of the gate, not trying any extra, should put him closer to the front than he's used to. And a lot of times those horses that move forward, they do pretty well. Let's see if we can get off to a good start here, Terry, in race number 1 with your picks.
All right. Well, I start out with the number 1 horse, Debbie's Surprise. She finished in the money in her last 3 races. She won one of those starts, finished third in her last race. Then I like number 7. She talks too much. She finished third versus
I would
similar.
crack a joke and say, "Don't they all?" But I don't want to get us in trouble.
No, don't get us in trouble. Anyway, she finished third versus similar in her last race, and she has a trainer jockey combination who in the last 14 days has won 2 out of 2 starts. And then number 3, Just Stuff It. She finished third versus similar in her last race, and the shorter distance may help her. And then number 2, Rainbow Trout. She likes Parx Racing, finishing in the money in 50% of her starts and has a win here.
So I want to say buenas tardes to all of our Spanish-speaking friends. Probably where are you all at? Are you in Venezuela? Let us know where you're coming from. Some of the picks that you like today. That's certainly we want to have a community aspect to it. So if there's a horse that you particularly like, let us know what part of the world you're tuning in from. We like to see. I know we get a lot of folks from Turkey and Venezuela, but if you're for somewhere else too, let us know. We appreciate. Even if you're in the States, tell us which state you're at. All right, so race number 1 for me, Terry, as I page up and try to pass time. Number 1, Debbie Surprise, just like you, Terry's been in my book again. Actually, I sent him a book. I think he's using some of the secrets from those books. Ran a lot better fractions last out, and that was at 6.5 furlongs versus 6 furlongs in the previous start. It's going to be, that's usually a good sign. A horse is a little bit quicker. Number 2, Rainbow Trout, lone pressure closer in here, which means this horse should be able to run whatever race it wants. Last race was awful on paper, but better than it looks. And then if you look at the drop in class, if you look at those internal numbers, they were on par with the race before that. I think dropping a class here, those numbers fit nicely. Number 6, Vanishing Faith does have, I mentioned, that plus late early pace advantage and did run the top last race. Speed figure carrying her speed a little longer in her last race. It's usually a good sign too. When you look on the past performances and you see a horse that goes 1-1-1 through the first half mile and then fades, and then the next time 1-1-1 through 6 furlongs or into the stretch. So you see them carrying their speed a little longer. Keep that in mind. Number 7, she does talk too much, Terry, as do I. Has a plus late pace advantage over the rest of these horses, meaning if it's within a length coming down a stretch, has more than enough juice to get by them all. In the money, 7 of 11 at the distance. The only question for me is the return after some time off. So if they can handle the time off, horse should be able to fare well today. Race 2 at Parx is 1 mile and 70 yards. It's an allowance of $8,000 with a purse of, I think it was $8. What was the purse there again? Let me look back. I apologize. I think the purse was $30,000. I was going to say 80, but that 80 wouldn't be correct. No. Going to have accuracy here, Terry. So 1 mile and 70 yards, the profile of a winner. So far, the bias has favored inside speed horses, 1, 2, and 3, and 8 and out speed. So kind of a barbell approach to the profile of a winner. Our pace worksheet to give us a clue as to who might do what. If you're looking for horses that have some speed, boy, it looks to me like the 6 and the 7 standing over here alone relative to all these other horses over here that prefer to kind of be patient or close. Looking at the late pace in here, that belongs firmly in the 2 horses camp with an L plus. Again, if he's close coming down that stretch, could be very difficult to hold off. The 6 and the 7 both also carry the best combination of early speed and late speed. What's your combination of picks, my friend?
All right. I like the number 7 as my first pick, Obstinate. She won her last race, received the highest last race speed rating, and her best start speed's fastest among today's starters. Then I like number 6, Awesome New Year. She has an early foot and returns.
That's something we're going to have next year, Terry. It's awesome 2023, folks. We're going to own the horse racing world like Elon owns Twitter next year. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're gonna have a lot of great new content.
That's true. Yeah.
Sorry to interrupt you, Terry, but that was just too good of a segue.
Anyway, she has an early foot and returns to dirt, which may help. And I don't mind if you interrupt me to say things like that. So go ahead anytime you want.
Terry's great. How about that? Does that work?
That's great. Yeah. Number 4 is my third pick, R. Tenderoni. She won her last race at Parx Racing, and it has a jockey who has won 7 races out of his last 12 starts, which is pretty good. And then I like number 2, Wishes and Dreams, as my fourth pick. She has won 24% of her starts at Parx Racing.
All right. So Charles trying to hide behind This say bet, or did I say bet? Saying go Team Terry and Charles. Just in case you don't know what that is, we are having a contest for the month of November. Pick Team Charles or Team Terry. Please hit us up on Twitter or Facebook or on Instagram. Let them know which team you're on, Team Terry and Charles or Team Rich. At the end of the month, if you're on the right team, we're going to take a name out of the hat. We're going to send you some great horse racing today gear. We're going to send you a hoodie so that, as I mentioned at the top of the show, you'll be the best looking person at the holiday parties. You can get the football version. You can get the horse racing today version. You can get what you want. A lot of football stuff here. Looking really good. I think you look sharp in this stuff. So make sure you pick the right team. Right now, Team Terry and Team Charles are ahead by about $500. So plenty of time to catch up. Charles, Terry can only carry you for so many days.
Well, let me ask you something, though. I do have a question. Is there a point when they can't give a team, pick a team anymore? Do you have a deadline?
We're going to cut it off at the 15th, so you better hustle up.
All right.
So you're going to get a little bit of a head start knowing who's ahead at the 15th. But after that, the doors will be closed. So don't say I didn't tell you. All right, race number 2. I like the 7 as well. Obstinate is my first choice in that race. This one does have the top last race speed figure, is the lone co-pilot horse in the race. But I do worry a touch about a horse that might have some regression in this race. Keep pressing the wrong damn button.
Yeah, you need to put the
number 2. Oh, I got to put that up too. Yes, indeed, Terry. Thank you for reminding me.
Mm-hmm.
Race number 2, my third choice is the I got to keep Art Tendelonia as well. A little Bobby Brown song, I guess, from way back in the day. Went wire to wire at Delaware Park, but that was on some slowish fractions. And I do feel like the Delaware to Parx is a little bit of a slight upgrade. Parx, I feel like, I don't know if it is or it isn't. But I do like the fact that this horse has run at the distance 7 times with 3 wins and 3 seconds. So clearly likes to run, routes. Number 6 is my final choice. Awesome New Year. Probably your pace setter if she can carry her turf form to dirt, but didn't show the same early pace in previous third starts. If the horse can get out to a fast start in this horse race, then it has another shot to go wire to wire. Our third race on the card, we go back to 6 furlongs. This one is a maiden special weight for $50,000, of course. The purse is $50,000. Again, we talked a little bit about the profile of a winner of a horse at 6 furlongs on the main track, and that favors horses that have speed. A little bit of a rail penalty. The 1 is scratched, so that means that 2 horse is going to inherit that little bit of a rail penalty. Does have, as you see, an arrow down here, dropping in class as a closer with a plus late pace advantage. Got a ton. You got a trio of first-time starters in here. The 4, the 8, and the 9 looks to me like the early speed's not going to belong to the 6 that might need to lead. Going to belong to the 5 and the 7 of the horses with experience. I felt like this race, Terry, was a little bit I felt it's kind of like a trap to take the horses with some experience. I hope I'm not wrong about that, but let's see which way you went.
Well, I actually like number 5 as my first pick. These guys got game. He is trained by Louis Lender Jr. and ridden by jockey Ruben Silveira and has a decent workout. And then I like number 6, Respirator. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters, and he has the best prime power number in the race. And number 4 is my third pick, Winning Time. He is a first-time starter whose dam has won 4 winners from 4 starters. And then number 7 is my 4th pick, Capital Conquest. He finished 4th in his debut race and has a high percentage winning jockey.
Yeah, I put in my notes that I'll put over on horseracingtoday.net. Terry's notes, my notes, along with the pace worksheet. You'll find that over there when the show ends. I said I'm probably going to regret ranking them in this order, but anyway, here we go. I'm going to start with number 7, Capital Conquest, as my top choice. And forgive me because if I'm on the wrong screen and I press a button, things go flying all over the place. So this one showed the best combination of early pace and late pace in its debut. So I hope to see a little bit more of that in race number 2. I'll take a little bit of flyer on my next pick, a first-time starter, Classic Union. A steady work schedule and a $43,000 horse, which is considerably more expensive than some of the others in here. And with that $43,000, they bought the horse with the best pedigree for dirt and the distance. Number 2, interesting name, Zopi Fischbein. Fischbein, I get German. I don't know if they like fish. Maybe Zopi likes fish.
Maybe.
The trainer is 0 for 32, but they debuted this horse in a race for a $200,000 non-graded stakes. I mean, even though the trainer is 0 for 32, I got to think they must believe they have a good horse in here. Otherwise, they wouldn't put it in a $200,000 stakes race to get its career cracking. Did run the top last race speed figure in that race. Has a plus late pace advantage. But then again, maybe I'm nuts. And then finally, number 4, Winning Time. This is another first-time starter that has consistent works. And for me, if I were to pick another one of the first-time start of the experienced horses, for me, it would be the 6. And that'll come into play in a minute when we do our hot dog pick 4s. All right, so race number 4 is another 6 furlong race. This one is optional claiming for a purse of $28,000. Again, we talk a little bit about that, what the typical winner looks like at Parx. 6 furlongs, horses that have speed, a little bit of a penalty on the rail. Everything else plays kind of fair. On the rail, we do get a horse with a bunch of early speed. That is the one horse, probably going to be the pace setter, but has a tendency to fade. The other early candidate, the 6 horse, does have a best combination of early speed and late speed. And we got a left arrow horse over here with the 9. Oh, am I on the wrong race, Terry?
Yeah, I was just going to say that. I was double checking. You need to be on race 4.
Race 4. All right, real quick. Race 4. Boom. A lot of early speed. You guys have a preview for race number 5. You know what's coming up. The 1 and the 8 look like they got a lot of the most speed. The 8 horse does carry a plus for the early pace, late pace combination. So keep an eye out. That probably runs the most complete race. All right, Terry, since I screwed that up, this is your long shot. Fix it for me.
Yeah, I like the number 8, Jokemeister. And he finished second versus Tougher in his last race. He drops in class today and has the highest last race speed rating. He switches to a high percentage winning jockey. And then I like We Ready, number 9. He finished third versus Tougher in his last race. And let's see, I like number 7. He drops in class too. I like number 7, Battle of Berlin. He is a closer who drops in class today and has a high percentage winning jockey. And then number 3 is my 4th pick, No Rhythm. He comes in from Penn National after running second, only losing by a neck to Try Parx Racing for the first time.
All right. So for me, this is my box it up. We put 4 horses together, and it's in a $1 exacta box, 50-cent trifecta box, 10-cent superfecta box. Like you, I like Jokemeister as my top pick. Did run the top last race speed figure and drops in class. 2 things I like to put in one sentence. Also has a plus early pace and late pace combination advantage. Only question for me, though, is the horse has been off for a while, but did run okay the last time and had a similar break. Number 9, We Ready, second choice in the box it up. Similar fractions in the last horse race, which was 7 furlongs versus a 6 furlong outing the time before that. I believe getting a 5-pound weight break today will work to this horse's advantage. Number 6, Imagine This. The 6 and the 7, quite frankly, for both of me. They both basically ran the same race last out. So I'm going to put the higher odds in the one with better late pace first, but I wouldn't be surprised if the 7 came in. So 8, 9, 6, and 7. So boxing those outside horses. All right, Terry. Now we go to race number 5, my friend, after we go to your long shot. Race number 5 is 1 mile maiden claiming $10,000. So far at 1 mile on the Parx main track, we'll find that there is, again, an early speed bias with a slight inside-out bias. So the horses on the inside fare better than the horses on the outside. And race number 5, on the inside, there is some speed with the 1, but the 9 does catch a left arrow, meaning it's a closing horse that can run faster. As far as late pace is concerned, you might look at this 8 because it does have the most late pace in the field. Since we foreshadowed that before, Terry, we don't need to talk much more about it. So let's talk about who you like in this spot.
Okay, I like number 3 is my first pick, LT's Jack in the Box. She finished third versus Tougher in her last race, switches to a high percentage winning jockey, and drops in class today. And then I like number 9, Drunken Bridge. She has a high percentage winning trainer and drops in class today. Number 5, Dubernick.
Dubernick sounds like a good name. Dubernick.
Yeah.
Good name for a dog.
She was a beaten favorite in her last race, but the trainer wins 24% of the time when he brings a beaten favorite back to race again. And then number one's my fourth pick, Tough Workout. She finished in the money in 3 of her last 4 races and had trouble in her last race.
So in race number 5, I hope I'm in the right race. The 3 horse is my best bet in here. LT's Jack in the Box did run the best speed figure in that last race. Again, dropping in class, 2 words I like to have in the same sentence. And it also ran the better across the board. So when you looked at those internal numbers, the early pace, the mid pace, the late pace numbers, all better than the previous start. This horse is on the upswing. Number 9, Drunken Bridge. Terry, again, hanging out in my computer overnight. This is my left arrow horse. Gets a weight break, and we'll see if it can perform better in the Classic Third start off, a layoff. Number 1 is the Tough Workout at Parx. It's kind of the Bob Dylan horse, 8 times out, 3 seconds and 2/3. So knocking on the winner's circle door. This one's going to be on the gas from go and did run better pace numbers last time out for the first half mile, usually a sign that the horse is improving. Then finally, number 6, what a guy. I had to pick a horse in Terry's honor over there. Does have the top early pace and late pace combination. And again, as we talked about earlier on one of the races, did a better job of holding its speed longer into the race. Something I like to see. So was race 2 or Terry, race 3, the one that kicked off the hot dog?
Race 3.
Race 2. So we got one more to go to reveal our first pick 4 of the day. So that's going to be race number 6. Again, 6 furlongs. You want to have speed, get a little bit of a penalty if you ride the rail. This one's a maiden special weight for $50,000 for Pennsylvania bred horses. If we take there is no, because there's so many first time starters in here, Terry, I did not do the way to the winner's circle worksheet. So we're going to go right to your picks and I think it's kind of aggressive to go ahead and make your best bet in this type of race, but tell us who it is.
Yeah, I like the number 1, Back to the Future. She finished second in her last race.
Were you a fan of those movies?
Yeah, it was okay. You know, it was all right. Anyway, and she's finished in her last 2 races second and has the highest last speed rating. And then I like number 8, Divinary. Oh, well, she ran second in her only start and has a maintenance workout. And then I like number 4, Jets Dream. She has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 7 is Celtics Tiger. She's a first-time starter whose dam has won one winner out of 1 starter, and she has a really good workout on November 1st. And I can tell you that the number 1 horse, Debbie's Surprise, just won. So
did it in the first race?
Yep.
All right. Well, you better hustle up so we can get into other races, right? All right. Race number 6, the one Back to the Future, did run the top last race speed figure, but times were a little bit slower for me, Terry, but does have a nice maintenance workout in between. Hope for you on your best bet there's not continued regression. Number 4, Jets Dream. The last 2 workouts have been dynamite, as they used to say a long time ago when TV was good. Trainer Michael Moore and jockey Andy Hernandez together, they win at 35% for a plus ROI of over $3. So that's a hell of a return on your investment. Number 7, Celtic Tiger, as you mentioned, Terry. This one is a first-time starter. I do like the workouts. Catches a little bit of a weight break in here relative to everybody else, which should be beneficial down the stretch. And then finally, number 9, Hop on Me, which is what you want to do for this handicapping contest between Terry and Charles. So versus me, again, make your picks in our social media sites. Horse race today. If you pick the right team, we'll pull a name out of the hat. At the end of the month, you're going to get some horse racing today gear on us. You're also going to get a view of our hot dog pick 4s right now, Terry. You're going to go 2, 3, 3, 2 in race number 3.
That's correct.
I'm loading up on the front. I feel like that first race is a little bit open with all those first-time starters. They did not take your 5. Probably going to regret it. And then I singled up the 3 in race number 5. I feel like that's the best horse, as do you, but say good odds too. If I get through that race 5, nice coverage in the final race. So we'll see if that plays out. Fingers crossed. If it does, I'm going to catch you guys on that one alone.
You might, yeah. And you were surprised that my best bet was in that last race, but actually my best bet was going to be the 1, but then I remembered that they started the races at 9:30, and I figured that if we
Well, 9:30 your time.
Yeah, 9:30 my time.
Which is you're out on the West Coast.
That's right. So I changed right at the last minute to the one in the 6-3. So there you go.
Yeah. All right, perfect. All right, so the next race for us is race number 7, Terry. So if you could, while I'm going through the profile of winner, can you kindly type in your numbers for me so that way they're done?
Yeah, I can.
And then we can go flip on over to that page, which will be the way we do things around here. All right, so I'm trying to figure out where all my stuff is. It's not opening up for me, so this is not fun, folks. Hold on. All right, here we go. I don't know what the hell was going on there. For race number 7, for the Box It Up, we have a 7 furlong race for the first time today. It is a claiming $7,500 for a purse of $22,000. The profile of a 7 furlong winner at the Parx track. We see bias is early inside speed, Terry. We can go back to our pace worksheet for this race. We do 5. The 5 horses scratched. No big deal. He was over here in the NA column with an NC next to its name, meaning it has not been close in the last 10 starts. If you want some early speed, which again is the way to the winner's circle, the 8 horse and the 3 horse look like your likely leaders, although the 1 horse probably will be tagging along. You have over here with the 4 horse, a horse that does have a plus early pace, late pace advantage, scoring 10 points better than anybody else, which can be, I think, an advantage in this race, Terry. Who is your top choice? The 4 horse. How about with the plus in your Box It Up?
That's right. True
Dakodian.
Dakodian. Okay.
Mm-hmm, like from Dakota.
Yeah. I don't know. The older I get, the harder it is for me to recognize these names. Anyway, he finished 3rd versus Tougher in his last race and has a high percentage winning trainer. And then number 3, Mr. Tuttle, he finished 2nd in his last race and likes the distance, winning 33% of his starts at this distance. Then number 2 is my 3rd pick, Explain. He ran 3rd in his last race. He has the highest last speed rating. And then number 6 is Ludo. He drops in class today.
All right, so just a little update on that first race, Terry, at Parx. It finished 1, 2, 3. Oops, hold on. It finished 1, 2, and 3. So Terry, you got the trifecta there. Nice trifecta.
I did. Yeah.
I got the exacta. So you guys pull a little bit more ahead because that trifecta paid $32.10. So
all right.
Good job on that. The 1 horse, both of us had it as the top pick, paid $6 to win. So I went off as probably one of the favorites. All right, for me in race number 7, as I take a look at this is my long shot in race number 7. I'm going to go with number 2, Explain. I'm sorry, 2 had the plus, not the 4. I had the plus, early pace, late pace combination in the field. Did run the top last race, speed figured, and the top better fractions in that race, along with the best late pace. This horse should be really formidable to deal with in here. Number 4, True Dakodian, ran fast tracks, loves them. 9 times out with a win, 3 seconds and 4/3. So probably more on the back half of the gimmicks than the front of the gimmicks, but was an improved horse in the first part of that last race. Number 3 is my 3rd choice in here for race number 7 at Parx. Mr. Tuttle is a left arrow horse, small left arrow horse, should be part of the early part of the race and was considerably better in the last part of its race. So if it can continue to run early quick numbers and then and continue to improve at the end, should put together a complete race. And then finally, number 10, One Slick Start, does have some early pace in this race as well. Been running routes, so coming back to a shorter race should be beneficial for One Slick Start. Race 8 is a 6.5 furlong, claiming $15,000 race, Terry, with a purse of $30,000. We haven't seen a 6.5 furlong race yet on the card, so let's talk about the profile of a 6.5 furlong winner. Tactical speed, so horse is probably 2nd or 3rd at the quarter-mile marker. You have a rail bias, so the 1 does have an edge over everybody else, but 2 through whatever. Play fair. Our way to the winner's circle worksheet for race number 8. I'm on the race still right there. Not getting all confused again. Yeah. All right, so the 4 horses scratched. We do see early pace for the 1 that does have a rail edge again, has a plus, late pace, early pace advantage over the rest of the field. I think the 7 horse scratching out could have been changes the race a little bit because it's the lone pressure horse in the field. Got a couple closers back here in a field that looks like it wants to go fast. If they go too fast, the 5-horse and the 6-horse could benefit. The 8-horse so far hasn't shown much, so maybe that's one you just toss from consideration. I'm sure you tossed it from your consideration as well, Terry, but who did you consider?
I like the number 1 horse, Prince Philip.
Mm-hmm.
He has won 2 races in a row and has the highest last race speed rating, and the rail post is winning at a 20% clip. Number 3 is my second pick, Mystic Link. He is a high percentage winning trainer and jockey, and he's trying Parx racing for the first time.
Mm-hmm.
And then number 6 is Xavion. He has the highest speed figure at today's distance. His best dirt speed is fastest among today's starters. And he has a bullet workout on October 29th at 5 furlongs.
Who was your second pick again, Terry?
Number 3.
I thought that was your third pick. No?
No, it's my second.
All right, so I was on. Yeah, I'm all messed up today. As you said, when you get older. All right, fourth pick.
Okay. And then let's see, where are we at now?
You're on your fourth pick, race 8.
Yeah, number 10, Shanghai Superfly. He drops in class today and likes the track, finishing in the money 68% of the starts there, and he's won 23% of those races.
I'm just screwing everything up. All right, number 1 for me in this race as well, Prince Philip. Did run the best race speed figure last out, and if you look at the resume, says that is very likely to be better in the second start off the sidelines and does have that advantage over everybody else when you add the front part of the race and the back part of the race together. Number 6, Xavion, is my second choice. A couple of races at Parx with a win and a third. Did run some better fractions last time out, 7 furlongs versus 6.5 in the previous start. And the resume says that the third after the bench is likely to be as good, maybe better than the second. Number 10, Shanghai Superfly. It's a very consistent race last time out from beginning to end. Race was better than the finish, and I do think the drop in class helped out here as well. Finally, number 2, Ashad, is my final choice in here. This one's making the second start for trainer Bobby Hawthorne, which is an alpha angle because Bobby typically wins at 14%. So big upgrade in terms of winning percentage for Bobby in the second start off the claim. Charles over there giving you some props again, Terry. You guys are having bro love affair. Way to go. Race 9, 1 mile. This is the big race on the card today. It's an allowance $62,000 for a purse of $62,000. Again, at 1 mile, you want horses that do have some early speed with a slight inside-outside bias. Looking at the horses in this race, we do find a pretty interesting race shape in that almost all of them want to close. The 3-horse here scratched out. Got 2 horses that do like to close because they're all back there. Some of them have to move forward. It's going to be the 5-horse and the 8-horse. They're likely to compete with the 1. The 1 doesn't need the lead. It can ride co-pilot. That's what that EP designation means. It'd be interesting to me to see which ones decide to move forward in a race that looks like it could lack early pace. But when it's over, Terry, how are they going to line up?
Well, I like the number 5 horse in my first pick, Yodi EA Foo. He has finished in the money in his last 4 starts and has a high percentage winning trainer and jockey. And then number 6, Sugar Ray 2. He won his last race at Parx Racing and drops in class today. And I like as my third pick, number 1, American Patrol. He has won 4 races out of 7 career starts, drops in class today, and has a bullet workout on October 29th. And then as my fourth pick, I like number 2, Bourbon Calling. He finished second in his last 2 races and has a trainer wins 33% of the races in allowance race starts.
So, Terry, in let's see here. So in your hot dog, Nick is asking, maybe we have something mixed up. And at least I don't have to take the blame if it's wrong this time. You have the 3, the 5, and the 8. Did you mean the 9-horse? Because in your picks, you have the 3, the 9, and the 5.
I and my hot dog. Let me see here. Where am I at here?
He's talking about race number 5.
Yeah.
So you have 3, 9, 5 in your picks, and in the hot dog, you have 3, 5.
It should be a 9. Yeah, it should be a 9.
Good call, Nick. We appreciate that.
Thanks, Nick.
That's a great thing about folks who play along there. The number 1 in terms of making sure we have quality control. So we appreciate it. If you see anything like that, let us know. We're typing a lot of numbers in, trying to get stuff done at the wire so we can come live close to 11 o'clock. So we really appreciate that, Nick.
Yeah.
We appreciate everybody's input. So if you have picks, there's different things that you see at the Parx track today that you have noticed that maybe we missed, let us know. I mean, it's a community. We just want to find winners, man. That's really what it's all about. Race number 9 for me is American Patrol is my top pick, the one horse. This one's dropping from a $100,000 non-graded stakes race. This one's going to make its second start off of the bench. And what I like, even though it did kind of finish behind some of these, it does have a bullet workout sense. So that's a good sign that this horse is heading in the right direction. Yodel Eahu is a left arrow horse. It's the first time today we talk about Jamie Ness and Ruben Silvera, the top jockey trainer combination for the horse that has the top early pace, late pace combination. Number 6, Sugar 2. At the distance, 5 times, 3 wins, a couple of seconds. At Parx, 11 times, 4 wins, 3 seconds, and a third. Did run the top last race speed figure in a $100,000 non-graded stakes win. So, I mean, those 3 horses, any one of them I think can win. And then on the outside here, number 7, looking at Roses at Parx, 7 times with 4 wins and a second. It's another one that should step up the performance ladder in the second start after a layoff. And if you look at that last race, the internals, the horse was considerably better than it was in the prior start. All right, last race of this long day at Parx today. Terry, 10 races. Race number 10, the nightcap, 6 furlongs, where we started. Again, speed. You want horses that probably aren't on the rail, although the rail is not a deal killer, as we've mentioned before. In race number 10, we do get a couple of scratches in what looks like a pretty balanced race to me. The 8 is out. The 13 did scratch in. The 4 horse that did have the top late pace advantage is also in this race, out of this race. So that means the 7, the 11, and the 3 all have a similar early pace, late pace advantage behind the 1 horse, who is a co-pilot type with speed. The 3 is a pressure horse that actually has a plus advantage, at least a plus advantage at 4 furlongs. Can't even read my own damn handwriting there, Terry. Hopefully you can read yours, and with it, share your picks for the last race.
Yeah, I like number 3, Champion by Design. He has won 2 races in a row and is now going for a hat trick, and he's trained by Jamie Ness, as you talked about Jamie last race. I like number 7, Bourbon Mission is my second pick. He drops in class today, has the highest speed figure at today's distance, and a jockey who in the last 7 days has won 7 out of 12 starts. And then I like Golden Spoke. He finished 3rd in his last race.
And what number is Golden Spoke? What horse
I'm sorry, number 6.
All right.
And then number 9 is my 4th pick, Nay Dude. He has won 3 races out of 7 starts this year.
All right. So for the last horse race of the day at Parx, I'm going to go with number 3, just like you, Terry. Champion by Design. As we mentioned, this thoroughbred, now that I can read my handwriting because I typed it, has a plus 4 furlong advantage. Just needs to carry that speed 2 more furlongs and could be as much as a length and a half ahead of everybody else after the half-mile marker. Number 6, Golden Spoke, where this horse ran better internal pace numbers early, middle, and late of its last race, and does seem to be a fan of the distance. 6 races, 2 wins, a second, and 2/3. Number 7, Bourbon Mission, drops in class, flips from turf to dirt in this particular race. Maybe better in the 3rd start off a layoff. Its record is spotty in that regard. But what's not spotty is Paco Lopez's record at Parx, where he's won 31% of his rides. And then finally, number 9, Nay Dude was a tough call over just about every other horse that's left in this race. But I'm going to take the lone pressure closer type in here. A lot of times when you do that pace worksheet, again, which will be over on horseracingtoday.net when we're over, when you see a horse in the lone PC spot, the lone P spot, or any lone numbers in there, those are horses you always kind of put on your radar because they could end up getting the most perfect trip. The final prime rib pick 4 of the day, Terry, you put $90 to work, 4 by 3 by 3 by 5. With the more traditional route, I feel like race 7, the 2, the 4, and the 3 are your most logical winners going to come from that crew. And then a little bit different horses in the back end. Quite a few different ways we can get together. If we get the race number 10, the 13 could be a spoiler for me, which would go ahead and give you and Charles an even bigger lead on me. That's not going to happen today, folks.
You never know, huh?
So make sure you head out there and you go to our social sites below. Horse Race Today on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and pick Team Charles or Team Charles and Terry. Should be just Team Terry because he's carrying all the weight. And then Team Rich. And at the end of the month, we'll pick a name out of the hat from the winning team. And if you're on the right team and we pick your name, you're going to get a nice Horse Racing Today sweatshirt. Again, full picks right here. Terry's best bets in race number 6 with the 1. My best bet is in race number 5 with the 3. So we have back-to-back best bets for a potential best bet daily double. Terry's long shot in race number 4 is the 8 horse. Part of my box it up. My long shot in race number 7, Terry's box it up. Interesting coincidence there. And then if you look at our box it ups, again, 4 horses, $1 exacta box, 50-cent try, 10-cent super. Terry's in race number 7. Rich is in race number 4. Hot dog pick 4s coming up in race 3. Terry putting $18 to work, me putting 20, and resting all of my hopes on the 3 horse in race number 5. Prime rib pick 4s, again, races 7, 8, 9, and 10. Terry putting $90 to work. Rich putting 96 of our $100 budget to work. That wraps up all the picks for today at Parx. But if you're going to bet Turf Paradise today, going to want to head over to horseracingtoday.net. I think it was today, the second day of racing there, Terry. Did it open up on the weekend?
Yeah, I think they started yesterday.
So if you're going to head over to Turf Paradise for race 2, and maybe our friend CC Perkinson might have a horse running soon. We'll let you know if she does. She's wearing red pants. You better bet her. If she's wearing any other color pants, fade her. Race number 1 at Turf Paradise, the number 7 horse, Reign of Speed, looks like a best bet in this $20,000 maiden claiming optional race. The link to the free picks at Turf Paradise is below in the description here on YouTube, as well over at Facebook, Twitter, and on the Horse Racing Today website. Finally, before we go, tonight, Sean and I will return at 8 o'clock this evening for, and there's Terry and I. Terry looking good in the photo. Well, tonight, we're going to have on trainer Aaron McClellan on Horse Center at 8 p.m. So if you have any questions for trainer Aaron McClellan, make sure you tune in. Those shows always are wonderful. The guests make the show, and we've had a lot of good shows, so you can even go back to our Horse Racing Radar TV and go look at some of those past shows. I don't know about you, Terry, but I've learned a whole lot in those shows.
Oh, yeah. I watch them every time. You know, if I can't watch them live because something's going on, I make sure I watch them afterwards. So,
All right, Terry. So that wraps up this Monday. Tomorrow we'll be back for Horseshoe Indianapolis. And then on Wednesday, we'll do Churchill Downs. I might have something come up on Wednesday, which could screw it up, but we'll see. And then on Thursday, for sure, I'll be back to do Aqueduct. Friday, I think Tom and I are going to do Shay Tin out in Hong Kong. And on Saturday, we're going to introduce a show just like this. We're going to add a morning show to Saturday to some of the big cards on Saturday. So make sure you circle Saturdays on your calendar. Forget about all those other shows. Come watch ours by making sure you hit that YouTube subscribe button.
Yeah, and they better start listening to Thomas because he gave me some picks last week for Australia, and I did really, really good betting his picks. So
that's nice that you put Thomas out there, but leave me to hang. I appreciate that, Terry. Yeah. All right, folks. That wraps up Monday, Money Monday. Hopefully it is Money Monday for us, and it's a sunny Money Monday. Terry, any final thoughts before we roll?
Well, I just wondering, how's the professor doing?
Yes, good call, Terry. Make sure that you do the professor because today there is a link down in the description below. He's gone back to his plays of the day. Those parlays weren't working out as well for him. It's tough to win 2 in a row, but college basketball is going to start off today. So if you're going to play some college hoops because baseball's over, my man, Professor Sides, does do college basketball and college football, puts his statistics professor-ness to work for you. So there's a link down there below. So thank you for that, Terry. All right, before we roll, only one pearl of wisdom today. Democrat, Republican, Independent, whatever you are, make your voice heard in the only way that most of us can have it heard. Make sure you head out, if you haven't done so already, to the polls today and tomorrow being election day, and go ahead and vote for your candidate of choice. And when it's all said and done, folks, let's understand we're all on this ship together, whether you're right, left, or in the middle. Let's try to be friends and understand that maybe we all have the same interest in heart, but just a different way of getting to where we want to go. We don't have to point at the finger at that guy or that guy and say, look at him. He's an a-hole. He's evil. There's something wrong with him. We're all Americans. All right, Terry. That wraps us up for today. Good luck wherever you're betting, and may your candidate win, as long as it's not the one I've picked. And no matter what you do, may everything end up in the
winner's circle.
Absolutely. Have a fantastic Money Monday. Terry and I will be back for more for Horseshoe Indianapolis tomorrow.